So the way it started for me with regards to sort of thinking about career was, as with everything, with myself and my own career decisions. And there was a time when I realized that if I was being honest to myself, I wasn't making very thoughtful, very rigorous career decisions. And this was after being 15 years in the industry and 10 plus years in product management, is when I really had to contend with this truth. And then I started thinking about product decisions I've made. And that's when I realized that, I've basically been paying a lot more attention to making more rigorous and more correct product decisions for the actual products I manage, the products I lead. And I have a sense of pride around that. I have a sense of almost this kind of professional identity around making great product decisions. And just maybe a year or two before this realization, one of my managers had pointed out to me that, Shreyas, you are great at managing your product, but you're terrible at managing your career. At the time, I heard that statement and I said, okay, yeah, maybe there's something to it. But I didn't pay that much attention to it, if I'm being honest again. But then that came back to me at this time when I myself realized that I haven't been making great career decisions and certainly not as rigorous as I would like them to be. And that's when it hit me as well that my career is my most important product, because my career is what is going to enable me to build any product that I want to build. So I ought to think about it very seriously. I ought to try to get good at making career decisions. So that's how it started. And then I embarked on this kind of journey, mostly within, of understanding, almost like we do postmortems for our products, but we don't do that much postmortem for our career decisions. And particularly, even when we do it, they either come from a place of confirmation or come from a place of resignation where, well, things happen to us and, what can we do, right? That sort of approach. But we don't do as rigorous postmortems of our own career decisions as we do of our products and launches and other things, outages or whatever the case might be. So that journey was really looking inside, looking back at some of the choices I had made. Now that I had the luxury of looking back, trying to be honest about why I made these decisions and what biases crept into these decisions and so on. So that was foundational for me as I went into this kind of introspection. And it was maybe the right time in my life, the right level of maturity in life and all of that, which made me realize, no, actually, yes, there's lots of biases, lots of assumptions that I made that, frankly, weren't as rigorous. Once I did that, a lot of things started making sense. I don't want to say or pretend that it was just a week or a month's long journey. This was maybe over a year or two, right? But once I realized that, again, right time in my life, I also started getting more clarity on what I ought to do looking forward. And it's only after all of that, and after getting a better understanding of ways to think about my own career, that I started becoming somewhat helpful to others with their career choices. And this time I was at Stripe during its earlier days. So we're talking 2016 or so. It also so happened that I was recruiting a lot for product managers at Stripe. We were just getting product management off the ground. As part of that recruiting, I ended up giving people advice on career choices, which had nothing to do with the specific role we had, but it was an important aspect of what would make them join Stripe or not make them join Stripe at the time. And then as I was kind of also helping some PMs within my team at Stripe and broader Stripe, that's really when I started seeing that the problem I faced was not at all unique, and that actually most product managers, most product people, while they can be very competent in their own products, can be, like me, highly incompetent with their career, which again is their most important product. So that's a brief view, I guess, of the journey that got me there.